Almost ready to get underway, as it seems like everything is now finally locked and loaded. Smooya has charged his phone, which is ideal.
Yeah, that is exactly what we're looking for. Obviously, must have trained his batteries, dropping 90 kills in that best of 3.
Taking screenshots of the scoreboard, of course.
Yeah, taking screenshots for his Instagram, not just ones for the selfies. Revelation Gaming, there are 5 players in towards the B. Ooh, Surreal, man of the hour, man of the moment. Solo towards B, but eventually, ooh, I thought Cryptix was going to go for the rotation there towards Connector and back up his comrade. Instead, Hawk with the smoke deployed towards Connector. Flashbangs there as well. We should be seeing them push towards the back lines.
Come barreling their way in towards the site. Surreal tagged down relatively low, just left on 21 HP. Craze is actually trying to play this one quite cheekily. Sneaks his way up, close towards Connector, goes for the ball push around, needs to find the frag nods, but he's missing all of the shots. It could have been way better than it is, but eventually the kills do come through. It's just left on Cryptix and Surreal in a 2 versus 4. It's a nice opening round for Revelation Gaming if they can shut down Cryptix. He is still alive, but he's not got too much time. Doesn't have a kit either. He is getting these shots off. But can he convert it from the position he's left in? No, he cannot. Impact with the most impact into the round, finding himself a hat-trick of heads. And that is going to be the opener for Revelation Gaming.
Well, thoughts up pistol there from then. Smoking towards Connector, the double flashbang to allow the players to get in deep towards Connector. And we saw them there up close. And with that, triple SMG buy from Tease. MP5 from Craze, 2 MAC-10s for Russ and Hawk, 2 AKs for the remaining players on Revelation GG. And for Pensioners, they've gone for the Force as well. It's Surreal alone towards B, but there's 3 rotations coming in towards the site as well from the back lines.
Oh, they're bounding their way in. Smooya gonna find the scout shot. J-Sav is done for. Surreal as well, trading it back with a Deagle, and they're left into the 3-on-2. From this point, they should be able to get some easy pickings off Russ. A little bit of style points coming out. Ran out of ammunition in his MAC-10. Finished off Smooya with the old Glock. And then just starts bouncing around once again. Bit of a MAC-10 massacre coming through for Revelation Gaming there as they pick up the second round.
2-0 versus the Force buy from Pensioners. And they're going for another one.
Instant buy.
Wow. Okay, but there's still $6,000 nearly for Russ. $3,500 for Hawk. Impact as well. I mean, when you factor in the fact that they're going to have the 1.4k loss bonus even if Pensioners win, Revelation can still buy. So, audacious investment here from the Pensioners to try and buy back into this one. J-Sav, fast towards heaven. He expects to be Eco. Little does he know that Surreal's there with the MP9. K-Man says Deadman. That's a Shaney, the new FPL star. Only good enough for 2. 2 versus 4 now as through the Connector smoke comes Lazar.
Not the worst situation to be in for Revelation Gaming. They've still got 2 players alive, and both of them armed with AKs. However, Smooya just did so much damage in a single shot. It makes it so easy for the CZs to take that player down. Smooya with a wallbang headshot as well from the scout, and they'll win the upset round. Luckily enough, as you said, Revelation Gaming, they didn't really spend too much money. They still had an awful lot of cash, and they got the bomb plant. They can rebuy it up into this one.
As mentioned before, they had the cash to buy, so we are going to be seeing 5 AKs for them. Obviously, a lack of utility there for Craze, who's opted for the AK. Kevlar, no head armor. Ooh, very fast rush coming towards the outside side here. Jack Cryptix gets caught.
Cryptix is done for. Craze just carrying it on as well. Brutality. Ooh, unfortunately, he did go a little bit stir-crazy. He's killed Russ in the commotion, but at least they do win the round. Would have just been the 1 casualty, but mistakes were made. The instant reset against Pensioners, and that's probably the worst outcome they could have hoped for.
We know they like to opt for the Force buy, so probably going to be seeing investing again, and we will. Org for Lazar, 3 Deagles across the board, and the scout for Smooya. 3 towards Ali, 2 outside team main. Maybe the Ali A main split here towards the 8 side from Revelation GG. And this is a statement game as well. They've already qualified Jack, so for them this makes no difference towards seed, towards anything, but maybe towards their confidence. Molotov towards the stop sign, denies the peek from Smooya. And with that, It will allow for Hawk to come through, and he has the eyes of a Hawk to spot Lazar there, boosted on towards Connector.
Hawk creeping up. They're going to attempt to assert their dominance with the rest of the squad. Everyone arrives at the same time, but Shaney with the deagle gets that first connection onto the head and punishes them. Cryptic's arm with the scout as well, looking around, trying to get some kind of commotion caused. Everyone is going down. It's quite an awkward round for the Pensioners once again. Just one casualty there on the side of Revelation Gaming, as it does go 4-1.
Now, with that 4-1 scoreline, as you said, we should be seeing the eco eventually from Smooya and co.
I reckon they force every round.
Yeah, no. At one point, they need to realize, actually, this is do or die for themselves in the Premiership. If they win this one, they're into playoffs, and they play versus Fierce. And if they lose it, they are playing for relegations and joining CEX. But fully here. Oh, easy kills there for Impact. As it's down to Smooya and Surreal. Oh, not quite far enough. Number 7, 5-1, 4-round deficit here for Pensioners, but they can buy. And the issue with going for all these force buys, Jack, is it may haunt them coming into these rounds as they can't invest the double op setup that we were expecting.
Yeah, just the one AWP on Smooya, and then 4 for Shaney. And then 3 Orgs. We do have an awful lot of utility though, just down to the bare bone stuff. Just the smokes, but it will still help them out because that's going to be the most important in being able to block off those lines of sight and delay a little bit of time. That's a nice nade. Bouncing down through Pop Dog. Fair bit of health. A smidgen scratched off of Cryptics in the initial opener. They did just get the read that the AWP is on Russ is over towards the B site though. He made his presence known with it. Fired off a warning shot, Snods. And they're grouped up. 1:16 on the clock as they start to slowly make their play.
Just going to be Impact alone towards A. Remaining players from Revelation outside B, but they are going to play this one slow. There's no reason to pull the trigger just yet. Impact has made his way all the way towards the end of Valley. J-Sav, crazed, going to jump off the ladder, and it works very, very well. 5 versus 4. That might allow for Impact to lurk. Smooya misses the shot back towards Sandwich. And Impact is still alive. We haven't seen the rotation there from Lazar. He's still towards B, and if he does go towards the A site, which he's not, he's doubling down here towards B. Great call to make.
Russ. Oh, he tried to shoot there. Did he shoot?
Yeah, it was bugged because he switched weapons so fast, and Surreal snipes them down so fast. 5-2. And once again, though, same storyline here with the narrative of the reset potential. Revelation, if they win this one, goes 6-2, force out a weak force buy from the likes of Pensioners, win that, force out the eco. Could be seeing easily the 8-2 advantage, which on the T-side train isn't too shabby this early on.
Molotov's coming in early. Russ doing back to Smooya what he did to him, the instantaneous wallbang. He's been getting an awful lot of wallbangs throughout this season in the Prem, and he's still trying to add to that tally. The 3 Musketeers that remain in Revelation Gaming decide to head over back towards the B site. They aren't committing though, just holding their ground for the meantime. Molotov chapped from the pop to try and force them back. Didn't expect the close angle, and that's not the best affair.
Ooh. Russ
JSAB barbecue.
Yeah, it literally was. Died to his own Molotov. Both making its way through the White Horse. I imagine they're going to go towards the A side. As does Surreal as he leaves B and rotates towards A. 50 seconds remaining. They have really good utility actually, so they can smoke. Seems like they will be going towards Ali, and they're going to be walking into Shaney's orb, but that could be the end of this one. But for Pensioners, this is a must-win round. They can't afford the reset. And for Revelation GG, 2 versus 3, it seems likely that it will be going in favor of Pensioners.
The elevated angle will find the frag, puts it back into a 1 versus 2. 13 seconds on the clock. Impact had to get the bomb down now. He is being pushed. Shaney fumbles it, lets it trip away. The nade as well does damage, but he was ready for it. Impact holds the angle with 16 HP, gets the kill, clutches out the round. 12-2 right now. Soaring ahead.
A live camera feed of Mighty Max and the Endpoint Boys face cams of the reactions to them watching this.
Going, come on, Impact.
Guns out.
Guns out.
Guns out.
Guns out.
Guns up. 6-2. Reset there. And now I mentioned the poor force buy for the Pensioners. It's only going to be 2 rifles. M4 for Shaney and the Org for Lazza. Impact. Oh, he comes storming through the back of a Crazed. Unable to find any more, though. Hawk, elevated angle, of course, he's in the air, he's soaring. And like a hawk to a hare, he picks it up with his claws and takes down Shaney. Smooya versus Russ and Jason. Has Cyril actually, apologies, so it's a 2 versus 2.
He was trying to grab the AK, but the simple spam through the box did so much damage, he was forced to recoil away. Russ as well. He's got the AWP out, but he's firing a little bit too early. Panic now in the clutch situation. Cast away the Molotov. It will restrict Smooya at least. Gets the flick onto him. Oh, when he faces towards Cyril, he had the advantage in that situation. Fires down with the AK and gets the frag. Russ was simply just too low in that instance.
The Eagles. For Revelation GG. Just a Soul, Glock and P250. For Russ and Hawk. 3 towards B. 1 alley and 1 teammate. Cyril, Molotov towards lower. Just going to be playing this one nice and passive. As the Orgs, we can play the very defensive angle. Lazza with the MP9. Trying his best to funnel the cash to bring out the double AWP setup. And that's where I think Pensioners will shine. For now, though, they're just trying to find a pick with these Deagles. Oh.
Ooh. Russ.
Soul.
Yeah. Smashes it there. By it, I mean Smooth's face. 4 on 5. 1:11. Impact just walks in behind Lazza. He had no idea what was going on. And he's been interrupted.
He's interrupted me. Oh dear, right now he's probably telling Smooth why that was the quick one. Oh dearie me, it's all falling apart by the wayside. Shaney lost alive, finds one. Ooh, he gets a double spread on as well. The bomb is down, but he's been kicked.
That was a good rack goal.
Yeah, that was.
That was pretty good. Oh. Oh no. The K-Man.
K-Man.
Not ideal.
That is very far from ideal.
It looks like the GoTV has temporarily gone down. We'll resolve the issue and then delve back into the action. But as of right now, actually very impressive to see Revelation Gaming. To be fair, on the T side, hitting was just such aggression. For the most part, it feels like they kind of bit themselves a little bit in the bottom on the CT half because they went for the double force. They left themselves an area where they could only get 1 AWP out onto Smooya.
They were 1-4 down, bring out with a single AWP. They went around, or 5-2. And then obviously, we know what happens. Russ with the 3K towards that side, the 2 versus 3, resets their money. Now we have the 6-3. But I think it was 2 versus 3 at that minute, in that moment. I'm not sure because it all ended rather suddenly.
But it's the fast bursts
2 versus 1
as well.
3 versus 1.
It's brilliant. It's the fast bursts that we've seen that have actually been catching them off guard as well, especially towards the A side. Just rushing in with the 5 rifle setup, you know, it's been pretty effective. Russ on the AWP, he's still hitting pretty sick flicks. So he's being able to make it work.
No, he really has. He really, really has. And they've already got 6 rounds as well for themselves in the T-side train. 1-2 more rounds. You know, if they finish with 8 rounds in the T-half, they're going to be very, very happy with that. Going to the second half on the CT side, I think they might have this one. What was the predictions? We didn't actually mention it. I think we both thought that Pensioners would win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I would have gone for Pensioners as most likely being the winner here. It seems like with the map and what the players they have and what we saw last time around, it's to be expected. For Revelation, as much as they did look pretty sick, it feels like they'd probably just be on cruise control with this and more so be focusing on getting themselves prepped going into the LAN finals.
No, it is true. Obviously, this makes no difference to them.
Yeah.
Already qualified, first seed from Group A, I believe. No, Group B. And with that, what more have they got to prove? Obviously, in terms of confidence, it's going to be a big win to have, but it's only best of one. There's no experience in terms of the best of threes. Going into Manchester as well, I think the crazy thing for me is still the fact that Reflex have gone through with the first seed. That still baffles me.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Neds.
Neds, yeah. That's still crazy to me.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
To be fair, from when we first saw them debut, obviously this season, to where they are now, it is pretty crazy to think they were able to steal away that spot. Obviously, when we all looked at it as well, we were like, okay, here's the team, 100%. These are going to be the 100% qualified teams. All of a sudden, the big giants start dropping maps left, right, and centre, some more so than others. But it is pretty much a shocker to believe that, you know, we have finally seen the old guard potentially cast aside ever so slightly.
Yeah, the fact that they beat Fierce, formerly Fierce as well, now looking for Org, obviously K-Piz, Hype, etc., and CEX. Yeah, again, very impressive, very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, there was a lot to go on as we are currently resolving the issue with the Go TV, I would imagine. And then once that's restored, you'd hope, you would hope, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you really would.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So, do you come often?
Every Monday, normally.
Really?
Yeah. What, you?
Yeah, some Mondays. Some Mondays when, you know, Edge's not hired, obviously.
Yeah. When you're here, when you're around.
Back up.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's great. Yeah.
I've now actually got Ezio giving me.
I think he's doing the DDK.
No, he's not doing the DDK.
Was he not doing the? He looked like he was doing the DDK.
No, he was telling me that I'm awful at what I do, and that I've just it was really personal attack actually.
Wow.
I can actually understand sign language, so you know, just.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
Yeah.
That's always ideal. Revelation Gaming looking like they are in a position potentially if they carry on to really lock this one down though. Very aggressive style of play on the T side right now. They're playing with confidence. That's been the biggest thing for them as well. A lot of the teams when you look at that and you just sort of think, right, they'll go into this, they'll play with respect, they won't really play overly aggressive. They didn't. They played very strong, very calm. You know, they would just rush in. They did that against Endpoint. And I think that's part of the course in why they were actually able to beat so many teams this season, because they just didn't expect that raw aggression or that level of confidence against teams that you would assume they should respect.
I mean, you say that and they win versus Endpoint 2-0, and it wasn't just, you know, overtime wins or 16-14s. It's very one-sided, 16-6 and 16-7, I believe, on Dust 2 and Cash, or maybe 16-6 in both maps, I'm not sure. But having the 2-0 versus Endpoint meant that even if, we expected Endpoint to come second potentially in that group, even so, because they had the head-to-head victory over them with the 2-0, they were almost always poised to get first in the group as long as they kept that same level versus the lower tier teams as well. Yeah, great point. I mean, I can just say it's great and just give a bit more context to it.
Nice. Well, that's always good. Hopefully things will be resolved soon as we are waiting for the issue that we are not sure of what it is.
Yeah, and that is the worst because we don't know how long.
So, here's the thing. Do you know the reason why you lose so many socks? And you always sort of think, oh, I've lost like an odd sock in a washing machine.
Is that no?
Right. So basically, the way the washing machines work is they have like an inside drum with like a little bit of like silicone or whatever that basically folds over, and it's like with the barrel.
Oh,
but the way that works is socks will get pulled into it, and then as it rolls around, it will suck the sock into like the inside of the drum.
Oh, I see.
So that's how you lose like various amounts of socks.
How do I fix it if I've lost my mind?
You have to look inside the washing machine. Empty out the washing machine, remove the little, you know, the silicone bit, and see if it's there. That's probably how you do that.
Yeah, I imagine that would be how I did it.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we are trying to resolve the issue currently, as the something went wrong with the server, so we're running that through, potentially getting the game back up soon.
Probably.
Probably. Who really knows?
Yeah.
Here on the No Prem Club.
The No Prem Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Probably.
That's good. Do we have an ETA, Producer Cat? Seems like we might not have an ETA.
Yeah, it's almost as if this should have gone to a break a while ago.
Right. Yeah, probably for the best. That's the thing about washing machines. They eat all the socks. We'll be back in a moment with some more Premiership action. Of course, we're just waiting for everything to be resolved and we will get underway with a continuation of this game. Revelation, if they win it, Endpoint will be going through. If they concede, Pensioners will be securing a spot and esl.im will be the business. We will see you after the break.
Think you can't clutch through a smoke while recording in full resolution and streaming the play to the world? Watch this.
Counter-terrorists win.
Think you can't get famous in a flash? Like become your own meme famous? Watch this. Think he's been there, done that? With Intel Core i7, he's just getting started. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Lazza charges in, jumps on the bomb, he's got to stick it, it cannot be done! Eccles will slay him, and we have our new champions. London Esports have found victory over Team Endpoint.
Would you look at that? It's 9 free snods, we're back.
Yeah, we'd like some more of that. Oh, wow, we've actually had 3 rounds.
Yep, they did some gaming.
Yep.
A little bit of gaming for you. But we're back. Looks like Revelation are still winning, so that's always ideal. Pretty much the same situation as we saw last time that we turned into. However, this time, Smooth does not connect the shots, but Surreal does, playing a little bit more aggressive. Surreal, absolutely giving it. The elevated boost there. Lazar, worried about being interrupted.
Some say he's still arguing with Robin about being interrupted.
Oh no, that fire's interrupting it.
God.
What a windy day.
I just got unlucky. No, Lazarus very... No, I just got unlucky.
He one Molotov'd me.
Right. 3 versus 2 here. J7 Impact are able to retrieve the bomb.
He's going to pick that one up like a piece of candy.
Yep. Pick that one up.
Right. 2 versus 3 into the round. Shaney. We get close by. Oh, normally Impact hits those, but that was yeah, that was a bit of a slapper.
Oh.
J-Sav. Show him what he can do here. Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh, could you imagine the scenes? That would have been absolutely redonkulous.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Sav in J-Sav stands for?
Savage.
Yes. Maybe.
Maybe. They'll tell you at LAN. Because they've qualified.
They have indeed. They have indeed. 9-4 now. Looks like they might be trying something a little bit different, going for an inner rush rather than trying to go for that outer bomb site. There should have been an awful lot of information heard there from Cryptic to pitter out of their footsteps as they hammered their way over. Early on into the round, Cryptic's actually the one that comes off a little bit worse for wear. J-Sav chucked the HE grenade down through pop. Shaney, completely blinded in all the commotion, luckily supported by Smooya, eventually gets a headshot off as well. Smooya goes down, he's trying to turn around, expecting them to be behind him, when in reality, they're hitting him with a full frontal assault, crazed. If he slowly makes his move, he could have been able to go for an incredible play. Instead, it all starts to go wrong. And J-Sav is left once again in an awkward situation. Back down through the ramp, plays with his own flashbang, gets spammed up. Cryptics will win it. He's posted up against the wall like a player, and that is going to go 9-5 now. These ragdolls are unreal.
Yeah, definitely a lot more eccentric than usual. 9-5. Pensioners. In terms of kills, the server's been reset, so we actually can't see an accurate representation of who is fragging out. So, buy for both teams is good. Praise on the Deagle. 3 AKs is one of the AWP for us to round the rest of the team by. 3 Orgs into play by Pensioners, and speaking of the Org, Lazar with 1 kill onto us. Spam really connecting. Russ will... Oh, I'm impacted. Jeez. We'll just pick up the Org.
Oh, right, the double drop back down through the fire of Mordor. And Crazed will get the kill back onto Cryptics. It's a 2 versus 4 into the round. Crazed is trying to bounce the hell out of there, straight up the ladder. J-Sav's been hitting some tasty shots tonight, but unfortunately, it will be overthrown by Lazar. Crazed has 4 HP, but he is lacking 4 teammates, and Surreal has removed him from this universe. That is a 9-6 half. Revelation Gaming obviously starting off on the T side. That's a pretty damn good start against the Pensioners in reality when you think about it. We expected big AWP rounds. We were talking about the double AWP potential. Obviously, we missed a fair few rounds in the middle there where there could have been a chance of that occurring. However, for the most part, we only saw the single AWP on Smooya. The rest of it was the AUG buys that were coming through.
Half time. So, Pensioners now their T side. If they lose the pistol jack and it goes to 11-6, this could be all said and done. Right. Let's see them. We saw a very good pistol come out from Revelation GG on their T side. Obviously, the smoking towards connect to the double flash as well. We could see the Pensioners mimic that, as it's a very easy strat to run. So, though the Molotov probably going to be ricocheted off of the door. Onto that B side. Impact Oh, they don't know he's here.
Oh, impact. Plucking them out of the air. Unfortunately, Lazar, he loves a P250 on the pistol rounds, doesn't he? And he wants to show why he can justify that buy. Let's see if he can do some damage with it from this point onwards. A 4 versus 4 into the round, 1 minute and 18 seconds on the clock. Shaney sprinting the entire way away with his tail between his toes. Looking like Gumpster, bombing it down an aisle. It's now the 4-on-4. Shaney really just trying to elude a fake towards the A site here. Firing off warning shots. Obviously, the rest of the squad literally just waiting to go for a B bombardment. Shaney hasn't really done too much, though, in terms of scoping this out. And he's just going to walk straight into the hold of Hawk. Rust in the elevated angle, shrouded by the smoke. Has a little bit of leeway to do some damage. They have no idea about JSA's location either. Eventually, catch wind of him being up so high. And Rust walks in for the contact play for the final kill. Cryptics is done for, and it does go 10-6.
10-6. Both pistol round have been won by Revelation GG. Pensioners not opting for the full force buy, just $2,000 across the board. Or Rust, and apart from that, SMGs across the board. Round number 17 then. Flashing towards their main. Hawk with the smoke to the Molotov means he won't be pushing forward. Ooh, good boost there from Surreal. Catches Russ on top of the brown train. And JSAV may be giving away his life as well in that same position.
Hawk is really just going for this and steamrolling his way through everyone. An easy triple kill there, picked up early into the round. Eventually goes back down from Shaney from quite a distance, all the way over from Ivy, getting the shots off. But their reign of terror should go down pretty soon. JSAV with the final killing blow off the back of the AUG. He can recover the kit here and the UMP as well to save some extra cash for Revelation. They're now 5 rounds away from securing the win here. And that would mean that Team Endpoint would be the team to secure 3rd place in the group.
And that would obviously mean they play versus Fierce, who came 2nd. Boost from JSAV. Response to the heads, but it's too late, and the Smokey will go down. Easy spam there from Surreal. Smashing towards their main, but no one to back it up. Just a pure defensive one. 4 players, Ali here from Pensioners, and this is starting to feel like Smooya's cooling, where they stack up as a 4, they trade the frags, they push in, use their skill, and that's it there. Smooya, Shaney with a killer piece. Trey's now going to be giving away his location. Smooya decimates of him too. And now it's all down to Impact with the MP9. Maybe just get 1 kill here, not even that. It's going to go 7-11. Pensioners don't have the money to buy, but they should really go for the force here when the money is in dire situations.
So, basically a deco there coming through for Revelation. You got the 4 Deagles, a couple of flashbangs thrown into the mix. Impact is going to be rocking the M4. As we get straight into this round. Round 19. Okay, we're actually going to see the push through the B site as well. They take an aggressive stance with both of the Deagles they have to play with. Meanwhile, Pension is setting up to just go for a nice aid take. That was a beautiful ragdoll off the back of a very tasty little Deagle shot. Hawk spamming down on the trigger. Blasting out a hefty amount of damage. Carries it on as well. Further frags coming through off the back of the pistols. They are proving just how powerful they can be here with these pocket hand cannons. 1 minute and 10. They're still just spamming away. They have the advantage into the round, but it now falls back into just a formality, a 3 versus 3. But look at the health advantage, Nods. A single tag pretty much can take them down at this point. They just need to actually connect those killing blows. JSAV, finds the overkill shot as well. Decapitation on Cryptics. Smooya panicked with a rifle. Nothing he could do. Lazar can still win this round. It just depends if he actually has the accuracy to do so and he doesn't overwhelm by the double face. They will get the kill. The double AK save in a 12th round for Revelation.
Has to be the force now, surely, by Pensioners. 12-7, and that's the reset coming through with the Eagles from Revelation GG. In terms of the force, it's going to be a good one. It's not even a force, but they have enough cash. Anyway, ignore me. 4 AKs, New York for Lazar, no Kevlar though behind him. Fast round it seems, it's time towards the edge. No. Same smoke since war. I said same utility, but those Molotovs are impeccable.
That was beautifully executed. The double molly, I believe with a HE thrown in there as well. The amount of damage that did, you saw it tank off the initial like 50 HP.
No.
It was so perfect, but they've over-aggressed, Nods.
Yeah, they've bitten off more than they can chew with that one. Cyril's made his lurk in towards the B side. Hawk coming up. Oh, this could be so well timed. No. Fortunately not going to be going down. JSF now last alive, but he's making his way towards B as fast as possible. Excuse me, he's actually done a D-turn, a U-turn even, and he's going towards the spawn and he will be saving. Which makes sense. Let's use the AK for the next round.
Yeah, hold on to the equipment he actually does have. Obviously a tremendous amount of value there. It's not really worth the ROI and what you would get if you did try and make a play towards the B site. So I'm just going to concede that one for the meantime. That will go 12-8 now. That's an unfortunate round. Very nicely executed. We saw the HE go in first to tank off a large majority of HP. At that point, the double molly that just burnt them to a crisp. However, they charged in and decided to just throw the round away, essentially.
Well, throw the round away, maybe. Double Molotov in towards Team A, and they went for the flashes as well, but the flashes did not connect, and we saw the double peak come out from the Pensioners. 8-12, and the reset will come through, so we could be seeing the force spike come out from Revelation GG's. JSAC can drop over a Deagle and a FAMAS, and they can go for the force spike for the remaining players as well. But if they lose to Jack, it's 12-9, and then obviously Revelation will be on Eco, then 12-10, and this could be the start of the comeback for the mixed team.
So, into a technical pause here. 11-8. Revelation Gaming, I mean, they're not far off actually being able to close this one down and find themselves another victory, which would round out a pretty darn good season of the Prem for them. I mean, if you think about it, obviously, this isn't actually like a vital win for them. 12-8, rather. That's my bad there. But the position they're in here would be absolutely incredible. Obviously, they're not far away from that. That would be a huge first run. If you think this is 5 players' debut into the Prem, their first season, they're taking that #1 seed going into the actual semi-finals. Could be ridiculous. There's a nice little spin going on there. Little dance move.
Got to stay warm. We saw that from CLG Red, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Bit of the dancing on the server. Keeps ready.
And then it was about this point when I heard the epic sax.
Yes, epic sax man came on.
Tech pause.
It's a little smooth issue, I believe.
Of course it is. Do you know what the issue is?
I am unsure.
Oh, I think we're live.
But it seems like it has been resolved.
Okay, we are going back into the action immediately. Ooh. Orb versus Scouts off there. Tag for the Wolf from Smooth, and obviously the Scout tag coming out from Crazed.
Well, here we go. Shaney, Mach 10, walking into close proximity, finds the first. A very easy adjustment there on towards Russ, and the follow-up as impact is done and dusted. Charging their way down towards the B site. The full rotation will go around. We've got an AK, a Deagle, and a Scout. There's the 3 weapons in play. Crazed, he's so low. If he could have connected that headshot, it could have been absolutely beautiful. Instead, they are trying to bounce out of there. JSAV dies. JSAV actually had the AK and probably the most impactful equipment on him as well. So that is going to be quite rough. I mean, at this point, we're looking at what? Maybe a 10-12 scoreline. The Pensioners will start to gain some momentum off the back of this round before we really see Revelation even have an opportunity to fight back fully.
Oh, Smooth is on the hunt.
Oh, no.
Okay, there we go. That's the hard shot.
Likes the hard ones, this guy.
Loves it hard. Round 7. of the second half, which means it's round 22. 12-9. HG's for Revelation GG on their eco. Just some deagles across the board as well, so they're going to try and get the splash damage down with the utility and then land the tags with the deagle as their way of making this work. Lazza boosting Smooya. Just like that. This is going to be 12-10, as we said, and now it comes down to the next buy round, Jack. If Pensioners can win it, it goes 12-12, and I actually feel like with the experience of the roster for Pensioners, they can still take this one, definitely.
This was the worrying part, purely just because of the amount of cash they had. They were left in the situation where it would have been the back-to-back rounds being conceded here against Pensioners. So, 12-10 scoreline, looking like it should be the case. Smooya for the final kill there. Him and Lazza both picking up 2 frags into that one. But here comes the reinvestment. Majority buy of Orgs, I'd imagine. Russ, he has donned out the AWP. It is the glass cannon though, Snods. That's all we could afford to bring into the actual equation this time.
Three Orgs. And then the glass cannon op, as you said, for Russ. Fast down towards Pop Dog. Shaney has managed to make his way in towards Sandwich. Impact force back onto the side. That's going to draw the rotation from Russ. Not yet, actually. Still just going to be Impact alone towards the site that is B. Smoke towards lower. He needs to just drop the Molotov, and instead it's just a flash. Impact has no utility remaining now.
Right, a minute on the clock. The boost coming up. Russ going to be put on top of the elevated angle, waiting for the push to come towards him. Unfortunately, they do not realize the positions that the T's have actually snuck into. How they're going to want to play this one. Getting ready to make their move in towards that B bomb site. They are set up with scopes ready for it. Shaney taken down, executed towards the A site. Craze gets one trade as well. The Cryptics starts to overthrow them, and all of a sudden, the T side gains the control into this round. It's a 2-on-3 retake now. They have no real utility. It's just one Molotov to play with. JSAF on the drive-by. Hits Surreal hard. Takes him down. Russ as well. Furthers it. It's all up to Smooya. He'd have to clutch it out with the AWP. He's already got one. Spots out the headshot of Russ. Charges in to get in a better position. Plays close towards the oil train. And the fast flick takes him down.
11-12, round 24. Revelation GG really letting this one slip at this point. Let's see then. Smoke towards outside. It's going to be a ruse though, as they are going fast towards B. It's a smart call to make. It's only going to be impact to the PT50. No armor to use.
Okay, fast bombardment in towards the site. Pensioners looking to quickly translate this into a 12th round. Shane, you have a beautiful connection. Surreal as well coming through. As the Pensioners, they're moving fast. They're not looking like OAPs at this round. JSav, Russ and Craze, the trio that remains on the CT side, not really looking like they're going to be able to pick this one up. JSav is done for. Craze needs to go for the save. He's got a Deagle armor. Russ really has nothing into the round, so it's not the worst thing in the world. He can try and sit here, and he is going to try and go for the knife as well. Potential. He wants to drop down behind them. Go for the awkward stab. Oh, no. He's done it. He's butchered Smooya. The chip butty.
Chip butty has been eaten. Sliced in half by the butcher's knife. Actually, speaking of chip butty, Pensioners win this, ESL will be their coach at LAN.
That is true. It's very true. You would have the ESL at an ESL Premiership again behind a team for the first time in quite some time.
If ESL had a dance on the dance floor, what would it be? If we think of iconic physical moments of Neil M, there's the one where he licked the wall at Gfinity when he won the round. Do you remember?
Yeah, that, or
there's the one where
it would just be like the, yes, exactly,
oh,
yes, exactly, yes.
Or it'd be the feet up, you'd sit down.
Oh
with
yeah,
your
he
feet
sits
up.
down, he puts his feet up, and he stands back up.
Yeah.
And he goes, tis the feet.
Yeah.
That'd be the Neelam. Well, it seems like Laz's headset, unfortunately, has got a little bit muffled from all the curls that he had.
Oh, it's almost as if they're actually going to open up HTV to see the money. I'm joking, obviously. They would never do that.
You need to calm down.
So Laz's headset magically broke during the middle of the game. So we are paused once again.
Okay, good. That was good. Cheers for that. Yep, 12-12. It's all tied up at a level playing field. And we're now at a position where, in terms of the draws, Snods, if we did have Revelation carry on to win this from the very commanding position they were initially in, it would be Fierce versus Endpoint, and then looking for Org versus London. However, if Pensioners are able to bring the upset here, we'll start to smash it down, as it seems like they're finding their form a little bit, getting some momentum, some clutch rounds that have been very impactful. It would instead be Fierce versus London, and looking for Org versus Pensioners as the draw we'd have into playoffs next week.
Interesting. I think, obviously, if Revelation win, that Fierce versus Endpoint game would be one to spectate. But Endpoint, I'm not sure actually if they can play with their full roster in the playoffs because of WESG.
Yes, that's true. They can't.
With Impulse and AVN.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just Impulse, I believe. But even then, they can't have... Who's the sub?
Nilzinho.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then I think if Pensioners win, it's probably better, I guess, in terms of what you would get out of it, because I don't see a world in which if they have Nilzinho, no Flame Team, obviously lovely guy, but like if they have Nilzinho instead of Impulse, their Star Opa playing versus Fierce.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see where I'm going?
Yes, yes. I see your point. Obviously a very stark contrast in terms of player of what Nilzinho would bring to the roster rather than what Impulse would be able to provide. Probably been the most tech pauses we've had in one season.
Oh yeah, I mean usually we finish the Prem about half an hour ago.
Yeah.
So, a lot on the line here.
Yeah. Did you ever clip Pogs as a kid?
Did I ever clip Pogs?
Pogs, yeah.
Pogs? What's a Pog?
Poggers.
No.
Yeah, PogChamp. So Pogs were like these little discs that you could get, and they'd have like different sort of branded things on them, or like, you know, characters and stuff. And you play a game of Pogs.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah, you had a Pog?
Yeah. I didn't know they were cool, but I definitely did.
Right. Did you ever have those little like beans that they would be weighted and you'd flick them and they would like
yeah.
roll?
Yeah, like a little ramp
over.
as well.
Yeah.
How did they sell that to kids?
Because they were OP, dude.
Yeah, but
They were unreal.
Ezio's laughing at us, very much enjoying the talent rotation that went down today.
Oh, God, look at this. It's like we're in first person.
Let's still play 1.6 then with the view model.
No, it feels like I'm playing like COD 4. There we go. That's how it looks when he gets the AK out, especially. Observer Jake here, displaying some of the new technological improvements we have here at ESL UK.
Yeah.
The high-res first-person models. Or it looks like they might be trying to relive it.
Oh.
Live on free.
1, 2,
Get Snods off air as soon as possible.
That is the mission.
That's what we're here for.
Get me to sleep. Actually been awake now for 30 hours.
Very long day, obviously, straight from Poland, from casting the Intel Challenge, straight here.
Yeah.
To work on some more Intel-based products.
You see, the issue was I thought that I could sleep on the shuttle there.
Yeah.
but then I couldn't. And then I thought I'd sleep on the plane, but then I couldn't. And then I thought I'd sleep on the train here, but then I couldn't. And then because when I got here, I got food, and then couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
So I've actually been awake for 30 hours, and it's got to that point now where everything's just rolled into one. I am the Premiership.
I am the org.
Oh, Max.
You were supposed to bring balance to the force.
You're supposed to bring balance to the team, Brandon, not destroy it.
Well, here we go. 12-12. Some potential action here. As the Pensioners setting themselves up for a take towards the A site. The smokes are donned. You've got the free smokes that will go across, block off bomb train, block off the entry, so you can slide in towards the site. And then they will go for the execution. Counter Molotov there from Russ, as that will don down. Misses the initial warp shot. Being charged up against a fast and furious Flick to respond against Cryptics. There is currently an advantage for Revelation Gaming, but a small tag has been given back. JSav slapped up. Casts out a flashbang to try and delay. Goes for the wide swing on Surreal. Locked in Mortal Kombat, and 2 frags are picked up for the sides of Pensioners. They further it even more. All of a sudden, it's just one man that remains for Revelation Gaming. Hawk in a 1v3. Smooya rotating the entire way round, back through Ivy. They smoke Pop Dog. They actually give Hawk a opportunity to attack as he goes for the bounce out. Bear in mind, if he can deny the bomb plant here, he can win the round. All he's got to do is get the shot off. Unfortunately, as he charges up, Surreal with the AK will slay him. The 13th round has been achieved for the Pensioners, and they get themselves into a good position here.
Brilliant round there from the Pensioners. Swift as ever, as now they're the ones with the lead. 13-12. Big plays to be had. And Smooya and Shaney, actually. 13 kills for Shaney. This is obviously after the resets have happened. 15, apologies, wow. After the reset. So, Impact with 1. Surreal goes down. This is the quasi-buy from Revelation GG. We haven't really seen them win a round since that 10-6 and then 11-6 scoreline. But Shaney with the entry towards the A site. Cryptics as well towards Pop Dog. And it's all just falling apart. 1 kill at a time here for Revelation GG.
Yeah, crumbling around the edges, everything currently going ever so slightly wrong for them as they're left 13-12. The Pensioners in a position to claim their 14th round right here, right now. A minute still left on the clock. The shot down. The grenade actually going to go past JSav, so it doesn't do as much damage. He can go for a late push up behind. If him and Impact can work together here, they could potentially cause some commotion. A nice shot out first away as Impact breaks the cranium off of Cryptics, and then things start to go a little bit south. The response back, the AK going to be able to slam them down. You left into a 2 versus 3, but JSav with the AK slides out behind them, tags everyone down so low. Smooya on 14, Lazar on 46. Crazed with a scout in hand, 25 seconds. It would just take 1 shot on each of them. He is going to get smoked off. The flashbang as well. Goes for the wide swing, jumps out towards the bomb train, heavily tagged, trying to get these shots off. If he can land it onto Smooya, he can kill him. 10 seconds. He didn't need to go for the wide face.
He had the bomb.
Yeah.
14-12. If just Exist survives, there won't be enough time.
Instead, he peaks.
14-12. 4 orgs this time. Usually we've only been seeing 3 come out from the likes of Revelation GG. Last play in towards the B site. Impact. He, ooh, doesn't really do much damage. It's actually giving the AWP from Russ, taking down Surreal. Oh, what's this from Lazar and Co? Coming out heaven in a very relaxed way. Molotov in towards connector, slows down the rotations, but they have to be careful for the flank, because that's where Hawk is coming from. Hawk's coming from.
Oof, they are connecting the shots, and it's all on Crazed. A 1 versus 2. If there's anything he can achieve, he needs to do it right now. Smoke towards the bomb. Smooya, crouch walking across the tip, but he couldn't land the shots. It was an awkward spam. Match point achieved. Pensioners looking like they're going to be able to take this and lock it down versus Revelation.
Match point. And 3 match points at that for Revelation GG. Heartbreaking scenario here for Endpoint, as they thought they had done enough. But then again, their fate was in their hands. They lost earlier versus Fraser and Co. And that might be GG here, Jack. Entry towards the B site. Molotov's there. Surreal finds Ross as well. I think we're going to be seeing Pensioners in the playoffs in Endpoint in regulation.
It seems like it. With just 2 players remaining and no real chance of them saving this round. It has to be the win for Pensioners. Push coming up the ladder. Surreal will detect him. Hawk will have his head removed. And it is all on JSav. He's been crisp all day, but he couldn't win that one. Pensioners will take it. A 16-12 on Train. And that means we know our draws now for the playoffs. It has all been solidified off the back of that win. And unfortunately, that does mean we'll actually see Endpoint forced down to relegation for the first time over the period of, what, 4 or 5 seasons here?
Yeah, a long time, if ever. Fierce versus London now as one of the bracket draws in the group stages. And then looking for Org versus Pensioners. That'll be an interesting one. Capers, Hype and the boys versus Smooya and Co. Yeah, I think from that draw, I'm expecting to see Pensioners and Fierce make it all the way to the finals alongside Reflex and, of course, Revelation GG.
I'd have to agree with you. I think that would be the 2 sides coming out of the actual playoffs that would make it the whole way to the LAN finals, to be honest. And it's definitely shaped up quite surprising compared to what we were looking at the very start of this season.
Yeah, 9-day difference what we thought. Yeah,
right, from the teams that are even still here right now, going to be able to give it, especially the teams that have been relegated as well, into relegation. It's definitely a shock.
Yeah, shock for me, shock for many of the players involved as well. I mean, what's crazy as well is not seeing the likes of Cray, Mezzi, and Fraser. Fraser had a really good day today as well. But yeah, here are the highlights, obviously, from the matchup. I mean, you can see here as well, they go off that 9, I believe it was 9-3 lead, and then they had the 11-6 lead as well. They just kept throwing it. But then again, it makes a difference to them. They have to qualify.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world for that side in terms of conceding this map, but there was definitely potential for them to actually close it down. It looked like they were the team that was being quite dominant for the most part. A couple of rounds here and there that seemed to just get thrown away. Obviously the double molly play where they got a little bit over-aggressive, potentially too zealous. Yeah, Revelation Gaming obviously had some stabby plays and some shots in the dark, but we did see the winners in the end being the Pensioners.
Indeed, what a reform of the season from them, from having Jacob and Co and all that to replacing with Lazza and Smooya. Oh, this must feel quite nice for Lazza, obviously. That win means that his former team who benched him no longer make the playoffs.
Yeah, he is
relegations they go.
Single-handedly knocked his ex-team out of the Premiership into relegations at this point, so they will have to try and fight for survival potentially, which is obviously a bit of a rough period for them. So a big shake-up, definitely a developing storyline that has sort of started to come through with the big roster changes we've had throughout the course of this season.